All right, I just want to welcome everybody in. This is Alive on Nancy Guthrie, and if hope is an antidote, let's go for hope. This is a candle being lit to keep us focused on truth and the light, and hoping for the light of truth with respect to this case. And I have an update with respect to who we think could be involved, and my sister and I feel that there's a nurse that is involved in the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie. There are more than one indicator that keeps us focused on the nursing profession. So here's the interesting thing. In the reading that we started to do in May, we definitely saw that one level nurse could be the female that is on the team that kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. We didn't know if it was the LVN. Now, I'm always getting this wrong because I'm from Canada. There are different designations. Okay, so that's of note. And I am still of the mind that Nancy was taken no more than 30 minutes away from her property. And we've been looking at ideas with respect to the nursing profession. And just a couple of weeks ago, I received an incredible vision that once again confirmed to me that we are looking for a woman that is somehow involved in the nursing profession. But here's my catch. I don't necessarily feel that the woman took care of Nancy previously. I'm wondering if this is just the greatest coincidence, because she could have needed health care and nurses, of course, on her own. But I feel there's something to still look at nonetheless. So I want to read an email that I did get from one of my followers. Just going to say that it's Nicole, and I can't thank you enough for sending this information. Sometimes we don't know where an investigation is going to lead. What I do as a medium is I'm always trying to get the information that police might not know, that the public might not know. Nancy has communicated to me, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that one day we're going to get the best news. So I want to read this email. Thank you, Nicole. I'm just going to read it, beginning to end. In the reading that my sister did, there were several names that came up. And again, we're always looking for, does it fit? Does it fit into one part of the puzzle or not? So this is just wonderful because we had gotten some names that seemed to be pertinent. Okay, so this is from my follower, Nicole. I had watched the tea leaf reading on Nancy Guthrie on your sister's channel some time ago, and I had commented on it with some things I researched on the internet. Among other things, I had looked into some of the names that came to Ellen in that reading. The one that might be pertinent to something you discussed in your current video, which was my ransom note video number 1, recently last week, is the name Eden, E-D-E-N. Ellen mentioned that in the tea leaf reading. You and other psychics, mediums, and tarot readers have felt that a female is involved and that she may have some nursing or healthcare background. You mentioned not having looked into the locations of medical facilities or hospitals in the Tucson area. When I did a Google search of Eden plus Tucson, thank you, I found that there is a place called Eden Home Health that provides home health care services, e.g., nursing care by RNs and LVNs / LPNs, rehab, therapies, palliative and hospice care, non-medical household help. And this is the best part. Cheers. Wait for it. It's located on North Oracle Road. If I correctly recall, some other psychics had mentioned Oracle Road as an associated location for this case. And believe me, I have been mentioning Oracle Road, Highway 7780, also from the beginning. So this is remarkable sleuth work. Not related to today's healthcare discussion, but still very interesting, is that Eden is also the name of an adult nightclub, nude cabaret, whoa, in Tucson. Perhaps this has something to do with some of the sexy woman, sex worker vibes you and others have been picking up on. And that's definitely what my sister and I have both picked up on. Whoever the woman is involved in the kidnapping and holding of Nancy Guthrie, we really do see an overlap with the sex trade one way or another. One way or another. Those of us closely following Nancy's case so much want her remains located and the perpetrators brought to justice. Thank you for all you've done and will continue to do towards that end. Okay, so very excited because we have to see what's reasonable to expect within a close parameter to her home. How are these people coming in and out? I'm convinced that the female herself is involved, living, working in Tucson some way. And you'd have to wonder, whoever was responsible for caring for Nancy during the 5 to 7 days the perpetrators wanted to hold her, I still don't feel all parties were watching her. I feel it was kind of delegated to the female. You take care of that, we'll be over here. So if she is still in close relationship to other people on the crew, I would have to say I still feel she's the one that would have been in the holding room. Okay, so, oh my heavens, and looking at those notes, it's possible that she was the writer of the second note. But you know what? When we have tuned into this woman, she seems to be always able to present this lovely face to people in the public. And we felt that she's got quite a darkness within her. So the sex trade, linking her also to the cartel, not necessarily that she's a cartel member, but I would suspect that she has access to people in the cartel that have, you know, been able to do her favors here and there. So now, the other thing that I want to talk about, I talked about it briefly yesterday in a live, since we're still talking about the nurse. I want to do a little side shuffle here with respect to another pertinent piece of information I want to share. No way I can prove this, no way it's validated yet, but if we are on the page of still looking for a nurse or looking for someone in those designations that I just mentioned that would have had access to home care or anything like that, wouldn't it be fantastic if we knew a name? Now, when I started watching some of the other YouTuber tarot readers who were covering Nancy Guthrie, I came across a young woman named Passionate Tarot, I believe, the Passionate Tarot. I was watching her reading one night, And she was using this really beautiful tarot deck with a lot of roses. And I was just reading her cards in a different way that she was, and I just loved it. I was watching what she was saying, I was watching what the cards were saying to me, and the roses kept standing out. And if anybody's has followed other readers, you know other readers have been picking up roses, maybe wondering if Nancy is at Rose Canyon is also a potential, which is north and east of Tucson. But here's the thing, and also one of my other followers on YouTube told me about something that happened at her home that was rather incredible. She came out of her home one night and walked out onto her porch, and she was absolutely flooded with the scent of roses. And she said it was so thick, it was one of those smells that made her heady and whoa, because it was just so pungent and thick and real. And of course you couldn't see the roses, but they were everywhere. So as I had watched some of the YouTubers and then I had listened about this, it made me think, wow, could I be way off? Because I see sunflowers around Nancy. That's what I see. I see sunflowers. So I couldn't understand why all the other readers, except me, are seeing roses. So one night, because I was in a very curious mood about that, I put that question to Spirit. And I'm very good at putting questions to Spirit. I always get an answer. So I put that question to Spirit. I just simply said, hey, why are all the other mediums seeing roses? Why are all the intuitives seeing roses? Please show me why. What is the significance of roses? And all of a sudden, I love when Spirit gives you something that you just aren't even expecting. And it's like this beautiful download that's just delivered, and you can hear and see at the same time. And what I was hearing was, all of a sudden, I was hearing Rosa, 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 repeating and repeating and repeating. And then I realized, oh, that's a name. That's a woman's name. Oh, that's the name of the woman perpetrator. They could be in the healthcare profession, possibly a nurse. By the way, anybody in the US, if you know the designations LPN and LVN, I did not look this up yet, but do you know what color they wear to work? What color uniform do they wear to work? And I'm just curious, would any of those designations have a navy blue? Okay, because when I see the nurse, I see her with black hair. I see her in navy blue when she's dressed as a nurse, so I'm kind of curious. Do you get to choose colors, or are they designated? And could her name be Rosa? I feel she's a Mexicana Hispanic, and I definitely believe she's within reach in Tucson. She's somewhere right under people's noses, and certainly makes me wonder, how did they fit in holding Nancy full time for 5 days, who was on vacation, who was on holiday, who just had time off? How did they work that out? But anyway, that's what I've got. Let's just see if anything with respect to the nurse, possibly named Rosa. Let's see if we have any hopeful breakthroughs coming through. and let's look into some of the names and locations that this Nicole has given us. So thank you much. Love, light, truth, and hope. Until next time, join me for another Tea Time True Crime on another day. Okay. All right. Good night for now.